Neon lights, neon lights. Dancing with my demons, do the dash, we out of sight. Run it up, secure the bag.
Hello and welcome to the SoulInsights podcast. I'm Chiron and Loxton, joined by
Kyle.
And we're reviewing Hope
by NF
today, which is the new album that came out by the GOAT.
Yeah, I'm not even going to try and say his last name, so Nate.
Yeah.
Fear Steve or something weird that I can't say, so yeah, Nate NF.
Banging.
We're starting off.
He's a wreck, mate.
Which is going to be the favourite song for each
off
of
the
us
album, yeah.
off the album. Oh, I can't fucking decide.
We're going through top. We do what we did with Logic, do you reckon? Because I've got top 3 songs, and I'll go down to one, what I think is mine, and then we can just do yours as well.
I've got top 3, but in no particular order, and I can't really decide. So,
okay.
Do you want to do that after and just go through the rest and include that in the
main? Do it now. Music rec,
okay.
Yeah,
so, right, top 3 then, yeah?
Yeah.
Happy, Mama, and Bullet.
Okay.
Okay, yours?
Happy Mama Bullet.
Really?
Yeah. Bullet's number 3, Happy's number 2, Mama's number 1 for me. But I did have Mistake was up there for 3 as well.
Okay, so Gone was up there for number 4 for me. Okay, Happy.
Okay, yeah, we'll go with that. So
and yours?
Mama's Mama top.
So no, so you are picking that one as your recommendation then?
What, Mama?
Yeah.
Yeah?
So Mama and Happy.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Okay. One each, like with different logic.
Okay.
Cool. Although Bullet.
My legs hurt. No, I'm joking.
The fact that he's obviously done a song for his wife.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But Mama's sick because it's like dedicated to that, where he's actually a bit more. Well, we'll go into it a bit more. But the fact that me and you always have the same.
The fact that we've actually got the same top 3.
Oh,
yeah.
God's sake.
Right. Film recommendation. I'm pretty sure I've said this before, but it's actually out now. So Paint with Owen Wilson. You know, the Bob Ross type film. Now? 7th of April it came out. So as of recording this. So
watch it tomorrow.
If I can find it, potentially. I need to try and figure out if I can get the Apple TV as well. But that's nothing to do with the podcast. So, you know. Bant's a little thing about the life of an artist, a painting.
Is it off Bob Ross?
It's not technically Bob Ross, I don't think, but it basically is, because you look at him and he's got an afro and it's about him being a TV show and all that. It's not rated very well by Metacritic, so I don't know what the user score was. But it was 25% Metacritic, I think. But, you know, Bob Ross. Yeah, exactly. Although not Bob Ross, but, you know, it looks jokes. Isn't it? And Owen Wilson is the perfect person to play that. Right? He's so calm with the way he speaks. Like, it's jokes. So, yeah, I'm happy about that.
We'll have to, like you said, just watch it for the sake of it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because I saw a review recently. You know when you recommended the Winnie the Pooh thing?
Yeah.
It's one of the worst horror films ever made.
It's jokes. I love that.
And you said you recommended it.
Yeah.
I was watching Meat Canyon reviewed it, because apparently everyone was calling him, saying there's a Meat Canyon vibe to the video. And he watched it and he says, if you think that is a Meat Canyon vibe, I'm retiring and jumping out the nearest window.
It's so bad that it was good.
I'll watch the Owen Wilson one, to be honest. So,
cool.
That's fair enough.
Next.
Dictionary of School Stories by John Koenig. I went chapter 4, Faces in a Crowd, catching glimpses of humanity from a distance. And the word is Quebico.
Oh, yeah, good.
Kuebiko. I've got an origin for the word because it makes more sense. In Japanese mythology, Quebico is the name of a kami deity, a scarecrow who stands all day watching the world go by, which is made him very wise but locked in place.
So technically it's not a made-up word because the word already exists.
But it's the word put into a setting, I guess.
Well.
A state of exhaustion inspired by senseless tragedies and acts of violence which force you to abruptly revise your expectations of what can happen in this world, trying to prop yourself up like an old scarecrow who's bursting at the seams yet powerless to do anything but stand there and watch. So I get the feeling where you're constantly turning on the news and something shit's happened in the world and you're just sat there like, sound.
Oh, you mean shit as in like a bad thing, not as in like when we look at the news and there's something so stupid.
Oh, no, when it's all like the crazy stuff that's going on at the minute, isn't it? And things like that, where it's kind of like you can't really do much, can you? You could do something, I guess.
I mean, you can't really, can you?
But yeah, it's just all that. Like, you're just exhausted by constantly just hearing shit stuff. And there could actually be some good in the world because other stuff does actually happen. But everyone focuses on negatives because that's what we are.
That's how the world works, isn't that?
Which is a shame.
Oh, well.
But yeah, that's the word. It makes sense, doesn't it? Would you think it was linked to that? State of exhaustion inspired by senseless tragedies and acts of violence.
Yeah, so
Just
yeah,
tired of
essentially,
seeing it, really.
exactly.
Right.
You're tired of seeing what's going on in the world.
Yeah.
Is the easiest way to say it. Yeah.
Which is again linked. It's not necessarily bad news for you until you're directly involved with it, isn't it? Like certain shootings and things like that is quite hard. Unless your family's involved, then you completely.
Yeah, but then you're involved in it.
Yeah.
So then it actually affects you.
You do feel sad
more.
for it all, but it's just constant. You know what I mean? Which is just.
Yeah, but then you think, okay, so I'll throw the Madeleine McCann situation out in the wild, out in the open. If that was us that went missing, would that much attention come to us?
Right, cocktail of the month is Bitter Hope. Have you gone on that? I've done it topical. What?
There's no hope, is there, for that?
There's no hope of where that previous thing you said was going. And no.
There is hope in this podcast because we're reviewing NF's Hope.
It's a redemption podcast.
Yeah.
But there's so the cocktail of the month is Bitter Hope because I thought I'd make it topical. And it is, I've screenshotted it, 50 millilitres Cointreau, 50 millilitres lime juice, 15 vanilla syrup, 40 millilitres grapefruit juice, and 25 millilitres IPA reduction. And then to make it is combine all the ingredients in a shaker, add ice, shake, and strain into a chilled glass. So it's quite basic, straightforward. I mean, it's probably quite a zesty, bitter.
You got a picture of that?
It's just got a little slice of orange on top of some
just
sort of pinky liquid.
A pink juice, basically.
But like grapefruit and Cointreau and lime, you know what I mean? It's like bitter but sweet at the same time, probably. So yeah, just give that a go, wherever that is.
Cool.
Boom. Main topic.
Right, well, yeah, we will go straight on to it. So
what
our thoughts of NF's Hope are?
Banging. Straight off the bat.
Yeah, it's best album of the year.
Ooh.
Oh,
April already saying that.
So far, sorry, so far.
So
yeah,
far.
that's
best
what I meant,
album of the year so far.
It's the worst day of my life. Worst day of your life so far.
But yeah, I would agree, to be honest.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Logic, but you know,
it was. Yeah, Logic was insane, to be honest.
Yeah,
but I just like NF. You know that it's more rare to see work from him. I guess Logic, you kind of get into his work ethic, don't you?
I think NF's lyrics are more relatable.
Yeah.
Well, they are relatable, whereas
he goes into more
Logic's
emotion, doesn't he? I think
so,
Logic every now and then has a few songs that go into it.
He just gets turned otherwise.
Yeah, which makes sense, isn't it? But I know I can understand. I wonder if you would probably agree. NF, it's either you do love him or you don't particularly listen to him.
Yeah,
isn't it? If you like him, you probably do really like him. But some people would say it's not for them because maybe of the certain stuff. Like I said, if you could have played him all day. I think this album
can be quite depressing. No, because he's coming out. He's turned into the white version instead of the black version of himself, hasn't he? So the lighter instead of the darker.
It's not as sad, I don't think.
No, it's not him going like depression mode. It's him like I'd say he's accepted.
Yeah.
And he's moving on from what's happened in his past.
Yeah, definitely.
Like with obviously Mama, he's singing the song about where she is or where he hopes she is now. Yeah. And how he hopes she's feeling, how he's feeling about her, which is a lot more positive than in the last song. Yeah, exactly.
Exactly, yeah. But then again, if it's like of any emotion, I guess if it's more raw, you're kind of seeing more of the negative and what's going on sort of vibe. Then if you let time pass, you get the bigger picture, don't you? Which is one of his lyrics, I guess. As you get older, you see the bigger picture, don't you? Because you like you said, time heals all wounds. It doesn't necessarily heal completely, but it's enough for you to bear with it, sort of thing. Get on with it.
Right, instead of going heavily into lyrics, which is what you're going to do, if I just ask a couple of questions and then we'll do lyrics and then I'll do my couple more afterwards.
Okay, yeah.
So what do you think of the features? So Corday and Julia Michaels.
Banging, yeah. The fact he doesn't really do features either.
Exactly, and when he does, they actually work.
Yeah.
The Julia Michaels one, when obviously he's singing at the same time as her.
Yeah, great.
Is insane, to be honest. It's not something that you exactly hear, is it? Like he might go back and forth with somebody a little bit, usually a female artist.
But his singing is quite good as well. I do quite like NF singing and melodies, I think. He's quite good with it.
Why it works well with female voices so often, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
Although Corday was still decent anyway. Like his verse was good, good song as well, that obviously going through all the artists that have inspired him. I think it's that song.
Yep, definitely.
On Careful. It's the song, isn't that?
And fair play for Corday for getting the feature, like, to be honest, as well.
Yeah,
for
exactly.
Because even if you know that NF doesn't really like features or too many artists on a track, he just likes him. And
the fact he's actually picked him as one, it's mad, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
And right, if we go on, so how do you compare it to other projects of his?
Up there, I'd say.
So it's difficult to rank because each album kind of
similar.
It's similar, but it lets off a different sort of vibe at the same time. Like it might completely be about something different, but at the same time, it's all perceived and spoken in the same way. Really,
I would say I would still say, because it's still early days, because it literally has just come out, I would still have The Search is probably my favourite. It'd be contemplating between 2 or 3, because I did like Perception. But I feel like I can relate more to The Search lyrics still, currently, than actually accepting and your life's turning around, because,
I don't know where I'd put it, to be honest. But off the first listen, it's like you going through it and it's like there's not a bad song.
No.
Like if anything came on, you'd be happy with it coming on, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
And it's an easy listen throughout. So
give it time, and then you'll be able to place it.
Like, every NF project slaps.
Yeah.
Is the easiest way to say that. So they're all number one.
Because like you said, even with Logix, he even would admit that like some of his projects are purely for turning up, isn't it? And some of them's chill. Whereas NF, it's just solely him and delving into who he is each time.
So the Logic bit, Grandpa's Spaceship. On Bobby Tarantino 2, I think it is.
Yeah.
Where he's like Rick and Morty, so the intro. They're like, oh, do you want to... I'm not in the mood for a message. I'm not in the mood for an album. I want to turn up. I want shit to turn up, basically. Which is where that goes. And then obviously, NF's all similar across the board. But just he does have the faster flow and rapping.
He can be,
rapping about different things. But it's obviously the relatable lyrics and the way he delivers everything that makes it so good.
Would you say it's pretty cool to see him, because if you're listening from Project 1 to now, to see him grow and evolve, isn't it, as a person behind the mic?
Say in Project 1, if we just say from the first studio album, so from Mansions, because whatever he did before is like, not bad, but like that's where you kind of like see him as becoming who he was, sort of thing. And so what was the question?
Just like cool to see him like evolve, whereas out of the studio as well, like as a person, like going through everything, and that's you can see how he's got certain lyrics, isn't it, from what he's done.
Yeah, exactly. Cool little story. It's I'll always go back to Logic, so it's like him, where you can see how they've grown as an artist, going through how their minds changed on certain aspects, and they're not the kid they once were.
And how they tell a story as well. They say NF's really good at doing that.
Definitely.
So.
Right, lyrics, because this is going to go mental now, isn't it?
Yeah, okay.
He's just going to read out.
He's
going to read out every single song.
Every song,
from start to end, every single song. That's how it works.
It was quite good, to be honest. I did say quite a lot of the lyrics. The chorus was probably stood out quite a lot, which again, like established Staples, a good song. When you have a good hook, obviously, makes it catchy.
Have you actually got the title of the song with the lyric? No.
If you load up the album and just say the title of the song, then I can say it, isn't it? Because I know I've done 2 for 1, but I would kind of know. So you say the song title and then I'll say a lyric link to it. Yeah.
So Hope.
Right, Hope is... I done did things that I regret. I done said things I can't take back. Was a lost soul at a crossroad. You like saying that, to be honest. Who had no hope, but I changed that. I spent years of my life holding on to things I never should have kept, full of hatred. Years of my life carrying a lot of baggage that I should have walked away from. Years of my life wishing I was someone different, looking for some validation. Years of my life trying to fill the void, pretending I was, and then they get it. So it's just a constant reflection, which is sick.
Of what you've done with your life and where you
like an evaluation of what's going on and where he is now and how he just doesn't give a shit now, which is decent. Yeah, the next song.
Motto.
So, oh snap, this is the industry where it ain't how big you are, it's how big you seem, where people sacrifice the art trying to chase a dream, then they wonder why their music is lacking creativity.
So, if I'm right, that's the bit where just before where everybody says that he responded to Eminem.
Line literally straight after is that, apparently. Like, I'm meant to be getting noticed by an artist he liked or something. Something like that.
I'm not wanting to be noticed, I don't care anymore kind of thing. And apparently in one of his other songs as well, he said something about Eminem.
Was it?
In 2017.
I'm pretty sure in an interview though he said he didn't mean to say
it's never actually been done. Like said, it's just people thinking that he's saying that. And Eminem, to be honest, it does sound like Eminem said something about NF.
Oh, right.
With that NF recovery copying line about how he copied how Eminem did recovery.
Yeah.
With whatever album it was. I think it was Therapy Session. But at the same time, why does it matter? The fact that an artist's gone a similar route to you, well, you should be proud of it, really, thinking, I've actually influenced that person.
I guess at the end of the day, like, you're not as unique as you think you would be, isn't it? Like this other Clouds song where there's other people just like you. Like Eminem would go through recovery. A lot of drug people might go through recovery, isn't it? I mean, just so happen to be you're both in the limelight. Yeah. Oh, they live the same life.
Yeah. So Happy, I've seen a lot of comments on the YouTube videos saying people thinking like, oh, it's a breath of fresh air to hear like other people going through what I'm going through. Yeah. Which is what those lyrics actually are like, to be honest. Yeah. And it's just like you from Clouds, which do that. There's millions of us just like you.
Yeah, exactly. Just because you're not in the limelight, not everyone's following your life, but you're still going to live a life very similar to what someone in the limelight might have done. Yeah. Isn't it? But obviously everyone's going to look at that person because, which goes on to the next song, what Corday says, which I don't think I have it written down. Yeah, Careful, is life's all about misconceptions.
Right.
So it's how you see me. I'm not going to give off my true self. It's just how everyone sees you. That's what life's like.
Yeah.
Which a lot of it would be, I think they talk about the music industry as well, is like that. Not necessarily just life. It's just, like, you could fake numbers, couldn't you? But people might think you're popping, but you know exactly what someone else is like.
Yeah.
But you fake it till you make it, sort of thing. Right, let's still keep... So it's stunting on me, you get exposed, I don't want to pick, then I buy both. Doesn't go plat, it will go gold. Keep it up front, I don't tiptoe. It's like the similar chorus. It goes to sitting on my roof like J. Cole, sitting on my roof like J. Cole.
So 2014 Forest Hills
Drive, yeah. Which that album absolutely slaps. And like I said to you, it's crazy to think how influential that album was on so many artists, which I didn't know. So that's crazy.
I have one from that
great
song
album
as well. So this is the only one I picked just because it sums up his discography, however you say that word. Subpar songs, I don't make those.
Fair enough.
It literally is like everything he puts out bangs, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Like I don't know if you could go through his songs and pick out something that's necessarily bad. There might be stuff that you might not listen to all the time for various reasons, but you couldn't pick out a song and be like, that song is bad. I don't think. Whereas pretty much every artist you could be like, I'm never going to listen to that song. I do not want to listen to that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, that stood out to me.
Okay. There's one more lyric to that song.
Yeah.
So I meant to read out the other J. Cole thing, but it goes, sharing the wealth ain't no point in me keeping this all to myself. I ain't taking this money with me to my grave. Yeah, I might as well bless all the people I love. Which is cool. Goes to show how humble NF is as a person, to be honest.
So I don't know if it's in that song. He says something about how he doesn't have like the private jets and stuff like that, but he's still a big artist.
No, he says he does do it, I think. There's one where he's it's a different song where he's just being cocky to someone who might have talked down on him, I think.
Oh, okay.
Where he's like, I'm doing all the stuff that you could have only imagined. But he's still saying it in a humble way, isn't it?
In the same sense, he doesn't push it out, does he? He's not like, oh, look, I'm on a private jet, blah, 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 blah. So, he's quiet about what he does, kind of thing. Yeah, but he'd rather, as you say, bless the people that are around him. Yeah. There's one line, something about he gets his grandma out of a basement where she's living. Yeah.
And he gets someone else out from somewhere as well.
Says to his tour manager that things are about to go mental.
Yeah.
Right, Mama.
Right, so because nobody's perfect, yeah, I guess we all fall short, and I can't hold this unforgiveness in my heart no more. So just you're lovable to me, and of course you'll always be mama to us. We'll save a table for four. Sick line.
Am I assuming that means him, his wife, and his kid?
Yeah, possibly.
Or does it mean him, his dad, and his brother?
Might have had other people. Don't know.
Exactly. That's why, because him, his dad, and his brother was what I first thought, and then I thought, no, now he's had his kid.
But what I've quite liked about Mama is it's quite a personal song to him. That he's made public. You know what I mean? So it's pretty cool to see that you might say information that you might not necessarily know much about him on that topic, but he's just happy to say it for people now, where he feels like he's ready to share it, isn't it? Whereas I think if stuff, especially if like your close family relatives like mum and dad, I'd imagine you kind of keep quite close to you until you either want to say it or you just forever keep that hidden,
yeah, or
isn't
it bursts out kind of thing, doesn't it?
Yeah, definitely. So that's why I quite like Mama, because I guess it seems like he's happy to share it. And there's one more Mama one. Yeah, I'm grown now. It took me a while to see the bigger picture, because if you were here today and I was talking with you, it'd be a lot of tears of joy falling on my sweatshirt, probably followed by some apologies and Mum, I missed you. Yeah, I pray you see me down here looking up. Still got a lot of things that I need healing from, but I'll get there eventually, so don't you worry none. I just hope you literally got some peace and you feel happy. Mum, I love you.
That's the end, I think, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a cool way to end a song, because it's... does it start...
It's acceptance, what you said.
I'm
Mum,
trying
I
to think
love
of
you,
how it
isn't
starts.
Rather
is
than
it
Mum, I
Dear
hate
Mama?
you, possibly.
I have to have a look and see what the first lyric is now, if I can actually look at this quickly.
But like you said to you earlier, it took me a while to see the bigger
no,
picture.
It's not, okay. But it's, it's about, like, obviously going to her from the start and of when she essentially got to heaven.
Yeah.
So.
And I think he was talking about some stuff where there was letters that he didn't want to read because he knew he might result into tears, isn't it? But I guess if you get older now, you could probably read them, which is mad.
Right. I went off a bloody album. Happy.
Oh, shit. I bet you're... wow, my voice.
Good. That's top notch.
My voice. I bet you're wondering why I keep obsessing on and stressing all the little things when I should be living life and soaking up the memories. Decent.
It's a fair point, but yeah, everybody obsesses on the little things, don't they, really? Because they just kind of like get in the way and they're constantly on your mind, aren't they?
And like materialistic shit, you may as well just live life, you know what I mean? If you've got the energy, go out and experience stuff.
Go out and enjoy yourself.
Don't worry about any of that other bullshit, because when you're dead, you're dead.
Exactly.
Yeah, I've been this way so long. Was that That's happy as well, yeah. I've been this way so long, it feels like something's off when I'm not depressed. I've got some issues that I won't address. I've got some baggage I ain't open yet. I've got some demons I should put to rest. I've got some traumas that I can't forget. I've got some phone calls I've been avoiding, some family members I don't really connect with, some things I said I wish I would have not let slip, some hurtful words that never should have left my lips. Some bridges burned, I'm not ready to rebuild yet. Some insecurities I haven't dealt with. Yes, I'll be the first to admit that I'm a lonely soul, and the last to admit I need a hand to hold. Losing hope, heading down a dangerous road. Strange I know, but I feel most at home when I'm... Oh,
is that how it ends, is it?
Yeah.
Well,
that's it. I think that's the most relatable passage of the whole album.
So the fact that it says, I'll be the first to admit that I'm alone, but I won't ask for a hand to hold or whatever it is.
First to admit you're alone, and then last to admit you need a hand to hold, because you're prideful still.
Yeah, you're happy to say, oh yeah, I'm always lonely kind of thing, but you won't actually admit that you want help kind of thing. Mm-hmm. It's like, if you're depressed or suicidal or anything, then it's like, oh yeah, you might admit certain aspects of it, but you're not actually going to ask anybody for help because
you'll still feel that sense of defeat, won't you?
It, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, Pandemonium.
It's nice because he said he's a mascot for people owning up to their stuff, I think, isn't it? Saying like it's all right to ask for help.
Pandemonium.
Right, acknowledge me or not, that don't really make no difference to me. I operate the same no matter who's around me. Who's around me is important to me. I keep my enemies at arm's length, but close enough to make me feel safe. My diligence can't be competed with, an easy win for me. This is a small taste of what I'm capable of doing with my talent, stretching my imagination. Banger. Where it says keep my enemies at arm's length, but close enough to make me feel safe, because that'd be quite good lyrical content, having enemies as well, because it keeps you fired up for the content. So that's why you want to keep them close, because it keeps you going technically. A bit like Batman Joker vibes. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Joker,
fair enough. Without
Batman
the Joker.
needs Joker, but Joker needs Batman to keep going.
Yeah.
And like you said, there wouldn't be or superheroes without villains, or the other way around. Like there has to be the alternative, isn't it, to keep them going, the franchise. If the hero's just one, end of story, you know what I mean? No one cares. There's nothing bad in the world to fight.
So there wouldn't be police without criminals.
Exactly, and there needs to be split alternatives.
There wouldn't be firemen without fires. Fire people.
Mixtapes. That.
Oh yeah, I suppose there is that actually. Yeah, but people have to make mixtapes. Right, suffice.
Right, might as well enjoy the few years that I do have left. Who knows when I'm going to write my last verse. I've been to hell and back ever since that first EP came out with All I Have on it. I've been given all I have, wasn't really prepared for the pain I was going to have to go through to get to the end result that I knew I wanted. Like proper storytelling, isn't it?
Yeah.
Sick, to be honest. Play on words from his title as well, All I Have. Or would you rate All I Have? You'd probably know his older stuff a bit better.
All I Have is a banger, yeah. All I Do as well.
It must be one of his first ever, like you said, songs, like professionally released maybe.
All I Have is... It's either Mansions or Therapy Music. I can't remember which one it is. Therapy session, rather. Therapy music's Logic.
Yeah, therapy session, yeah.
It's one or the other. And then all I do... No, that's Logic.
But it's similar line to Logic, though. Like,
Oh,
who knows when I'm going to write my last verse? I think Logic said something like that, isn't it? Like, he can't be asked to rap some point. Like,
yeah.
You never know where this might be his last project. He does like this. He might go down the singing route or something.
Well, it's the same with everything. You never know it's your last time doing something.
Last time you did a COD session with the boys.
So, yeah, the last time you actually loaded up the PlayStation and played with certain people.
Yeah, you never knew that.
So there was a story I saw. Somebody used to play, I think it was Fortnite. He met somebody on Fortnite, and they became like best friends, and they would constantly play. And then they ended up meeting each other. So one went to the other's like place.
Yeah.
And then anyway, they kind of grew apart a little bit. But then one of them said, "Oh, do you want to come on?" And they just like, "Oh no, I can't today because of this. Let's go on in a couple of days." And in that couple of day span, the other one died.
Right.
So it's like shit. It's like you don't know when the last thing is. And then he went to obviously his place to go to his funeral and all that. But yeah, you never know when the last of something's actually going to happen until it does, kind of thing. And there's no way to prepare for it, is there really? So
wild.
Mad.
This might be one last one to suffice, actually. This might be quite relatable when, like, to anyone, I guess. So ahead of y'all, I'm out of sight. Yeah, when you pop in, they all want to... When you all pop in, they all want to slice. Greed and envy, that's a part of life. Yeah, mediocre, that just won't suffice. So when you start popping, people want to chill with you. Fuck off, mate.
When the cheesecake slaps, everyone wants it. But when it doesn't, everybody's like, nah, fuck off, mate.
Exactly.
Perfect analogy.
Like, how would you react if you were on that level? Oh, straight face.
What, of elite cheesecake?
No, if you start getting lit, it's like mad popping everywhere.
Everybody wants you, just like...
Exactly. I don't know. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, a bit mental. Right. Gone.
Right, yeah, I could blame us breaking up on being too young, on being too dumb, on being too caught up on past dramas, but the truth is we just weren't right. We planned our whole life and we knew we should have just ended on the first night. So that's the actual features.
That entire song, like, the fucking lyrics are mental.
Yeah.
Like, Mama, obviously going in depth about his mum.
Mm-hmm.
Bullet going in depth about his wife. Or not in depth, but like rapping about
ending relationships.
And then that one, obviously, it might not. I don't know if it necessarily relates to him in the past or not, but yeah, the whole fact that it's based around the relationship ending, or why it's maybe best that you do end things instead of just staying with somebody for comfort, for
the sake of it,
which is what we've said about a lot of people. That we've known, like you've just kind of like settled down, had a kid, and then it's like, should you have really done that though?
You may as well like stay with him because you know no one else will take you. But I was like, how do you know no one else will take you? Because you're not expanding yourself.
Like that TikTok you sent me the other day. Oh, I was happy with my life until I started traveling. As soon as I got out and experienced the world, I came back to my life and realised how shit it was.
But it's the fact that they haven't changed, it's you've changed.
Yeah.
So that's why you're seeing it in a different light. If you didn't necessarily start that, you would probably be in the loop with everyone.
Which is why it's difficult for in a relationship if you're the one that gets broken up with, why you can't understand it because your mind still feels the same, but theirs doesn't. Which obviously is never going to be easy, is it? And you're never really going to want to understand it.
It's quite mad, actually.
The feeling's always there.
Because then it's you starting to actually realise that people think about stuff differently. We don't all think the same, isn't it? Like that travel video is mad, isn't it? Like she didn't pick up depression until she started traveling.
Yeah, which is when you'd think it would go away essentially because
you're
actually
escaping
going
everything.
to do stuff. Yeah.
But if you're only going for temporary travel, you're not going full time. You're coming back to the same life you did have, but you have a different perspective on it, and it just feels weird. You feel like everyone's different, but it's not. You're different.
Yeah.
You need to realise that. Right. Yeah, I got bullet now.
Bullet.
I would take a bullet, give my life in a second if it came down to it, sacrifice anything to see the light in your eyes, I swear I'd do it. When you're down and you feel low, when your world starts to crumble, when you think that there's no hope, I got you. Banging.
Not much to say about that really, is there?
It's just
it'd
like,
be the same for his kid as well, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it's just like, it's pretty supportive lyrics, I guess. But that I Got You is probably his best sample mixed like into the whole project. I think that slaps.
I got you.
I think that's actually sick.
Terribly renditioned by me there, you know.
There's a couple of, what was the other one? That Gone one was good as well. That's the little piano thing. Remember the silent part where you thought the song the little song. Yeah.
Where you think the song's cut out and it's like, what the fuck's happening there? And all of a sudden you hear a little piano string. Like, what the fuck?
So that's the other thing to say about Gone. That's a pretty good song, but yeah.
Right.
One more on Bullet.
Oh.
When the days feel long and the nights get lonely, when your sky goes dark and the rain starts pouring, yeah, when the walls cave in, you need somebody. I got you.
I got you.
So again, it's all supportive stuff. Hence why the song slaps. It's positive, actually, isn't it? For NF as well, positive.
The fact that that's the one out of the 3 that didn't go on is saddening, to be honest.
And rating what you've said the public thought of the album, Bullet was the worst, wasn't it?
Yeah, but
which is wild.
Looking at it on Apple Music, I think the little stars next to the title mean that it's
Most
like
popular.
one of the popular ones, which is Hope, Mama, Suffice, and Bullet.
Oh, right.
Mama and Bullet were 2 of the lower ones, which is mad.
But the star means it's
on
popping, yeah.
iTunes, so it depends if it just means it's like on different things. But that is what
Can't
the star
see on
means.
Spotify results. Yeah, the star means it's kind of like a mostly played one sort of thing.
I don't know about that, but on YouTube, Careful's the most viewed one that doesn't have a video.
It's quite cool. It's mixed then,
yeah,
because it goes to show like
but I
NF
think
is different like that.
I think Careful's only the most viewed on YouTube because it's got the feature, because Corday's in it, and it's probably the first one that comes up.
Yeah,
because it's obviously the first on the list of the album that doesn't have a video.
Like you said, it'd be quite cool to see Spotify's, because again, if it's different songs, it goes to show that the project in general is good.
Yeah,
isn't it?
It's number 1 in a lot of countries.
It's not just
number
like the
2
same
in
song
UK
everywhere.
because the UK's trash. They don't understand true talent. They think
even though we
Goulding
sold
is
out his
better.
tour in the UK.
Exactly,
True.
waste, man.
We got to talk about his other stuff in the release afterwards, but yeah.
Right, turn my back.
Funny how they switch up quick when they realise that your name buzzing. Funny how they all want to hop on board when they see the wave coming. Funny how they wouldn't put me on the tour and now they hit me up and say, I hope you're doing well, we should do a tour or something.
Takes me back to my cheesecake analogy.
Yeah.
Everybody wants you when you're good,
Yeah,
but when you're bad,
exactly.
nobody wants you.
And then it's like, oh, we should tour together, and it's like,
Should we
what
though?
happens? Yeah, exactly.
The fact that he headlined with Logic, he did a tour with Logic, is mental.
It'd be interesting to see, like,
And
supporting
Kyle,
him on
so
the tour, isn't it?
technically
Oh,
my
Kyle, yeah.
my name's
Linked with Logic.
linked to Logic and Anna.
And then at the same time.
Exactly. Yeah.
G-Eazy part of that as well, possibly. I'm not sure.
No, I don't think so.
He had something.
But G-Eazy's bangs.
But yeah, it's just like similar lyrics to, imagine having the power just to say fuck off. Isn't it?
It's like Eminem. He just tells everybody to
It's,
fuck off, doesn't he?
A Day to Remember, as the song goes, wait till I get some fuck you money. So good. It is like that. They imagine having that. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
tell everyone
Yeah.
to suck themselves. But yeah.
Right, mistake.
I feel like I'm at a standstill waiting for you to tell him I'm okay. If time heals, tell me, why do I kill myself trying to show you I'm not a mistake? I've got qualities that I'm not proud of, but I've made promises that I've walked out on. I had days I feel like I don't deserve love, so think what you think, just don't call me a mistake.
The fact he actually admits that obviously he's done wrong.
Yeah,
but
what wrong there?
Everybody does wrong.
I think it's more... imagine with NF, you're dealing with personal things, which makes you quite a hard person to understand and get along with at times, because you have certain flare-ups, isn't it, mentally?
Yeah.
I can imagine with NF. I'm
And
not
I
sure.
suppose
I'm not going to paint a picture of him. I just think... I
These
would
are our
understand that.
thoughts, not necessarily true, but this is just what we perceive of the album and what
but
we perceive
you can
of the
see
lyrics.
and like respect the fact that he might have that,
yeah,
isn't it? Which makes sense. If you've gone through shit, of course, or trauma or something like that.
Yeah,
like,
it's gonna
resurface some points.
Yeah.
And if you're in a relationship, you're with them a lot, isn't it? So it's not just like a little meet up, but yeah.
Right, let them pray.
Sentimental, influential, every step I've ever taken in the wrong direction helped me get to where I am today and lead to monumental moments in my life that I would not have got to experience if I'd let the mistakes that I made rob me of my full potential. Life will test you. Don't forget to remember the fundamentals. So, yeah. Mad, isn't it?
Decent. My one word.
Again, with Let 'Em Pray. It's See 'Em Praying on My Downfall. Let 'Em Pray. That live, I think, would go off. Good. Don't you think?
Good rendition, though.
See 'Em Praying on My Downfall. Let 'Em Pray.
Yeah, it's just that little like break of Let 'Em Pray. And there's
Yeah, I think that live, that
It's
song
like
would be
it,
quite
yeah.
fun. So, yeah.
Right, and last but not least, Running.
I wish you well, but I can no longer stand this. I can't watch you sabotage the two of us. I love you to death, but I can't spend the rest of my life in this darkness. I'm done.
I'm done.
Which we're done with
I'm
the
done.
lyrics now. We're done.
Exactly.
But yeah, again, it's another relationship, I guess. I'm done. See you later. Even though you love them, but you know that you're in a different headspace to them. So it's best if you leave them to it, because you don't want to drag them into your headspace, probably. Isn't it?
So in all,
Banger.
obviously the lyrics are just mad,
Bangers.
like meaningful.
Bangers.
I feel like everybody could probably relate to them.
Bangers.
And it's just a fact of how he does it. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's mad how he can just churn that out, kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
And the flow as well.
How long was it from the search to now that he's released something? 2 years? He's done Clouds though, actually, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
exactly. So Clouds was last year, wasn't it? So there was only the break probably because of COVID.
Yeah.
He didn't do anything. Cause
And obviously
Search
the child, he
was
had a child
2019.
and things, isn't it? Because
Yeah,
I
I don't know
guess
when that
priorities
was.
might kick in
Yeah.
like that.
But yeah, he did. I said disappear for a little bit, but not that long really when you think about it. And you think about how long it probably takes him to write all of this.
Yeah.
It's mad.
I'll say something before we wrap it up, so say whatever you need to say.
Fuck it. How do you think he compares to other musicians? Other rappers, let's say rappers.
Well, I said to you, like, you either like him or it might not possibly be for you. I think he's very similar to when G-Eazy goes into his reflective state.
Right.
He says some pretty cool stuff that's like NF vibes. When Logic goes into his reflective
Yeah.
state, it's like that. When Eminem goes into his... he's always in his reflective state. So do you always want to listen to that sort of music? I
Or
mean,
do you
if you
wanna-
want to turn up at a club, you might not necessarily hear him
Why
because it's
not?
not the setting. But even with like Jeezy's, like, you'll just play his banger stuff. You wouldn't play his chill stuff.
No, he's like, say, some of the Search stuff, like When I Grow Up, and probably the Search, to be honest, and
Yeah.
a couple other ones from that anyway. Like, you could probably put them on in a club sort of setting and it'd actually work.
He's got high energy to his style, though.
Exactly, yeah. There are some songs where it is like,
Yeah.
it can go a bit mad kind of thing. It's not
It's an
all just,
eventing
like,
sort of
your
way, I guess, though,
lyrical
isn't
stuff.
it? It's not like you're turning up for other people's enjoyment. You're getting emotion out.
Yeah.
That's what I'm seeing from NF. You're not trying to just get like Juicy J style where you're getting like loud and rowdy, or Lil Jon, isn't it? Where you're for other people to get lit to, isn't it? But you're
Yeah.
saying some pointless random.
So it's him and Logic.
Yeah.
Top two, obviously. I did see somebody say the only two people that could actually come back and not necessarily diss, but respond in a decent way, not like, let's say, Machine Gun Kelly,
Yeah,
where he
yeah.
got absolutely rinsed, to Eminem, is NF and Hopsin, because lyrically, they are insane.
But
Like,
I
they can
think-
do so much with it that they could probably come back and clap him. But
Yeah.
I don't think either of them are the type of person that would do that, especially not to Eminem. NF definitely wouldn't, I don't think. Hopsin might to other people, but you
Hopsin's
think
very good.
Eminem's like a big fucking thing.
Yeah.
Like, he's influenced so much. Why would you want to be dissing him?
Well, like with Hopsins when he's mugging off his label.
Yeah,
Like, absolutely
in Ill Mind of
fucking
Hopsins, yeah.
wrecks him. But NF, I feel like it would make more noise if he stayed quiet and just didn't bother.
If
It would be a more of a
somebody-
mad clapback. Like,
someone
just
disses him and then he's just there like, yeah, and
just carries on releasing music.
yeah, it's like, well,
brush
if
it
they're
off.
dissing me,
Yeah,
clearly I'm
so-
doing something right.
that's how I'd act, to be
So-
honest. Like, mug me off. I was like, I'm
Yeah.
not bother replying. Like, you're not even worth my time. I mean, if it's Eminem as well, it's just like, why? Though you've had a lot of time in your career, and why would you bother?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, just some
So
trampy.
why do you want to end your career over some beef?
I guess
that doesn't
MGK
matter?
it spiraled into something though, wasn't it? I think it was mentioning Haley and stuff though, wasn't it? So it kind of got a bit more
Bit more
mad.
personal,
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly. Which kind of pissed Eminem off probably more. But
Right, what was your thing to mention?
his tour. So
Jokes.
if you woke up today and you realised that your album was selling in all of these places and your tour sold out, wouldn't you be gassed? Or would you even bother looking at your phone?
He's probably not. He probably don't
Yeah.
even know yet, does he?
No, imagine. Like, I'd probably not go on your phone. Like, you schedule everything for one day, isn't it? So
Yeah.
like, you have like an international tour, everything's just selling out, going crazy, and your album's doing really well
You get a message from the manager.
on the
and be-
same day.
Your manager would send you a message and be like, oh, you're number one in this many countries and your tour's sold out. And he's
Yeah.
the sort of person that go on Twitter and just,
People still aren't talking about you. No,
just literally be like, we sold out and that's it. That's all he would tweet.
I'll just say cheers. Imagine.
Or that. No, it would be something
Pint
like
of Guinness,
that.
cheers.
But then he'll say something and he'll delete the tweet an hour later. 'Cause
yeah.
that's what he does. Or 5 minutes later, because that's what he does.
How was it?
Yeah, he constantly does, because I constantly see people screenshotting it and being like, oh, NS recently deleted tweet.
God's sake.
But yeah, you would.
That's
It's
what it was
mental
like, isn't it?
feeling.
The fact that you schedule a tour the same time as your album launch, and it'd be quite a nice feeling. The fact that it's like this day is your day,
Yeah.
isn't it? Like you will get talked about and mentioned because you're popping in various things.
Although the tour's not for ages. I don't know when the first date is, but it goes on for ages, doesn't it?
Well,
End of,
like you
October.
said, for a Soul Insights sort of promise in a way, we will see him at least once. But I do think, either in this country or not, we will see him.
Even if you have to spend, comes to it, and you spend 150
questionable amount of money, we will see him. I don't care.
If anybody's scalping VIP tickets where you can meet him
yourself
for $3,000, then we will buy them.
If you're scalping, suck yourself.
Yeah, well, yeah, that is
Boom.
the whole point. But
yeah,
that's not the NF way. So
no, NF would even say that probably.
Yeah, he probably would.
Like, why would you?
Because then there's somebody
buy a ticket to sell it for 500 where someone might really want to see him.
Nobody buys it, and then that seat's empty at your tour.
Exactly.
Yeah. Or that standing spot is empty at your touring. The mosh can't go as mad because
it's
one
hard
less person.
Okay, do another one. If you're an artist and a venue upped all your ticket sales to like a crazy amount and you were happy to sell them for like 20 quid, would you be pissed? Like, because you're not necessarily in control. I know 1975 said, don't spend over like 100 quid to see me. Like, 50 is enough, and even that's too much. And that's like him at that level, like 1975 level, where they're quite big now.
It depends, I suppose. If you're big enough as an artist,
like Ed Sheeran
and you can afford, they're like, oh, we advise you put it to this price because this is how much the venue's going to cost.
Yeah.
But you can cover the cost of the venue at the cheaper price, and you are actually for the fans, and you want to experience it with them as an artist as well. Yeah. Then you keep it low.
If
like
you can afford CD to do as well, isn't it? For $5.
Yeah, fucking weird.
But that's if on his own terms. You can tell that he doesn't care about money. You know what I mean? Like,
well, he knows he's going to sell enough that he's going to get enough money
Yeah, it's
anyway.
either that or like if he makes a load, then a lot of it's going to go on other people anyway. Yeah. Like, it's not really going to be for him. He's happy enough with doing what he's doing, I guess. That was just another thing to say. Like, the other people running with money just piss you off.
Right,
well. Say it, or do you want me to have a go? I'll cough like 3 times probably.
How many is it?
19.
Do you want me to do it?
You can do if you want. I mean,
you do it. Fuck it, you do it.
So new music, obviously, NF Hope. Brennan Savage, I Know You Well, Lil Peep, Switch Up, Daughter, Stereo Mind Game, Joey Badass, Fallen, The Noise and Heard, Alex Jordell, Moon Rocks, Hit Wonder, Drugs, Sex, Music, Joyner Lucas, Future, Blackout, Drake, Search and Rescue, Labyrinth, Never Felt So Alone, Ellie Goulding, Higher Than Heaven Deluxe, Muramasa, Whenever I Want, Alesso, T.Y. Dollar Sign, Quarter Body, John Newman, Hold On To My Love, J1, Perth, Ray Shremmed, Shrem for Life, Young Boy Never Break Again, Nicki Minaj, What the Fuck, Amani, I think is that, Kate Renada, Pharrell Williams, Forever, Linkin Park, Meteora, 20th Anniversary Edition, and then Daniel Caesar, Never Enough.
I have one thing to say that I forgot.
Yeah.
Just saying new music reminded me because of last week. So, obviously Black released a new song.
Yeah.
NF mentions him as well.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
I was only looking at the lyrics. I think it's in the one with Corday. And I only really noticed because obviously it's 6 Lack, isn't it? So when I was looking through the lyrics, I saw that.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So he mentions him in the song. And when he's going through, like, saying Eminem and J. Cole, or not J. Cole, but when he's going through saying all the different artists in that little period, he actually says Black. So
when Black come through, like, he was sick. To be honest,
I don't even know who he is.
He had like more like R&B sort of style, but his lyrics were very emotional, like deep sort of stuff. But it was more like a relationship setting.
Fair enough.
It's decent, but like even like it was banging just to see the J. Cole like that 2014. Like, imagine how.
Considering like you've recently mentioned that to me as well. So I fucking downloaded it, didn't I?
And one more mention is the Kanye West documentary. How that's inspired a lot of people, isn't it? Because obviously, Kanye's work ethic when he was coming up was sick to watch, to be honest. But yeah.
Decent.
So go and watch that. If you want to be an upcoming rapper, watch Kanye West documentary.
There's another recommendation for whatever it is. Then
I think recently Lewis Capaldi's documentary came out as well on Netflix. Another musician.
Yeah, different style, it's number 1 on films at the moment. I saw that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, when I was on Netflix.
So watch that as well. It's quite cool to watch other people's lifestyles.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Cool. We don't actually have fact and joke today because I wanted to focus on NF.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
And I couldn't find any like jokes or facts that were like appropriate necessarily. All the NF facts that came up were just like general stuff, like when he sold.
We've already said it, yeah.
Stuff like that,
fair enough.
When he sold his stuff, but
he likes wearing all black. There you go. Fact of NF. Well, they used to.
Now he's all white.
Oh.
Yeah, because his mindset's all right.
Well, you said next episode will be jokes, won't it?
He didn't even get it.
No. Next episode will be jokes, won't it?
Yeah, so snow bombing next episode. Because we go on holiday and we will probably both be in netcasts.
Yeah, we'll try and make a few videos though for sure.
So maybe next episode's a little bit late. I don't know. It depends how quickly we can do it when we get back. Because we're going to be
how mad it's going to be. Yeah, it's going to be quite wild. So yeah. Right, we'll sum it up.
Yeah.
Find us on all streaming platforms, SoulInsights Podcast. Please leave us a rating and review. Socials, Twitter, SI Index, TikTok, Instagram, SoulInsights Index, and YouTube, SoulInsights.
Go and check out NF Hope.
Yes.
And thank you for tuning in.
Toodaloo.